So we started last week's podcast talking about how Donald Trump got shot in the air because it happened like the day before we recorded. Well, let's talk about Joe Biden dropping out.
Listen to this. Listen to me. Listen to me.
Just happened 20 minutes ago.
Listen to me very carefully. Everyone who was saying that it was bad rhetoric to talk about Biden dropping out and he's the best chance and blah 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 blah. Shut the fuck up forever.
Wait, what?
Okay.
I stand by those ideas. I stand by those ideas completely.
Shut the fuck up forever.
Why? Wait, why does him stepping down counteract those ideas?
I'm going to say, no. I'll explain. I'll explain my reasoning. No. If the politician that you back does not care enough about the people who are backing him to continue running said race that you are backing him to run, there should be no reason why you should be so adamant about that person running.
Hang on, that was so anonymous, you confused me.
yeah, that confused me too.
I'm confused as well. I'm trying to say, I'm essentially saying that the people who were pretty much using the same rhetoric over and over.
You can just say me. You can just say me.
Yeah.
This has been my take.
Essentially, John saying that people should back Joe Biden no matter what. If you are a Democrat, right? I'm talking about John. I'm just saying in general. Those individuals who are saying that, I'm saying that if the person you are backing, being Joe Biden, does not have enough, I don't know, gall, if you want to say that, to continue running said race that you are backing him to run, shut the fuck up forever. Because there should be enough, like, I don't know.
Some would argue it took gall for him to drop out of the race, though.
Yeah. I pretty strongly disagree because I think he was pretty committed to keeping going, and he's just been completely abandoned and forsaken by his party. Yeah, so, it's kind of ridiculous to me to put that on him. If all your money is drying up and all your supporters, or not all your supporters, all your powerful allies are saying don't do this and are actively ruining your chances of winning, then I don't really blame him for going, okay, yeah, fuck it, I'm gonna step down.
Wouldn't you want him to, as someone who you're backing, wouldn't you want him
to fight
I would have more?
I think he fought a lot though. I mean, listen, I would have preferred he stay in. I'm not against, I'm not happy with what has occurred, but I don't think he didn't put up enough of a fight or something.
I don't think he did. I think he could have continued going. I obviously I don't think that it was the best. Look, people are gonna say whatever they want to say about this, but I think that what should have happened was honestly, I don't think that he should have ran a second term. To be completely honest with you, and everybody's gonna be like, now people who are really not pro Joe Biden, but people who are adamant about him becoming the president rather than Trump are gonna be like, well, probably the best for the party. They're gonna kind of switch up like that, which is nah, you were on one side of the aisle. You can continue staying on that side. Obviously, you have to vote for somebody, right? Somebody who's Democratic, but someone who's a Democrat. But regardless, I think that switch up is gonna happen. Where it's stick to your guns. What you said, stick to it. It's fine.
Well,
it was wrong.
I think you can stick to what you said and still go okay, oh well. Also, I mean, I agree with you in hindsight. I think when
hindsight is a perfect science, right? So
yeah, not when the primaries are necessarily happening, but just in Biden choosing to run again. To me, I was yeah. It just made sense. It's he's an incumbent. They have a huge advantage, right? And of course, again, hindsight, I would say no. It'd be better if he stepped down and somebody else, and all the money and support and time went behind that other person. And so obviously that would have been better. But I do think it is now too late. It is the wrong decision at this point to withdraw.
Yeah, there's only got at this point. I mean, the election's in 4 months.
I think the Democratic Party is shooting themselves in more than the foot. They're shooting themselves.
Absolutely. Look, I'm the first one to talk shit, right? I was talking shit back. I mean, I was saying that he should have dropped out a while ago, and that would have made more sense.
You all know Comey Bibler is the first one to talk shit about
the
politics.
first one to talk shit. Yeah, but no, seriously, I think he should have dropped that a while ago. That would have gave at least the Democratic Party at least a little bit more time to find someone else, or put the money towards someone else. But now it's way too late, like genuinely. And unfortunately, this fucking orange man has become president, which I mean, we don't really know what that's going to bring, but probably not a lot of good, like, I don't know, like social rhetoric. It's not going to be great, honestly. And that sucks. And that's pretty much like the Democratic Party just essentially handed over the election to Donald Trump. That's what, if we're being honest. So it is what it is, my guy. It is what it is. But that's
Which
what I'm
is so
saying.
crazy to me because it would have cost nothing for them to just, well, in their eyes, actually, it probably would
Loss.
have. But no, but like, if the same shit happened with the Republican Party, which actually it has, Trump is equally fucking idiotic and incapable, and the Republican Party is just like, fuck it, we're like, he pulls
Just
well, we're getting
let
after him, we're
let him
just
go.
putting it behind him. There's no reason the Democratic Party couldn't have just done the same thing if what they say about wanting Trump out is as true as it is. Like that first
Yeah.
debate could have happened and they could have been like, yeah, it was a really poor performance, but we still like super 100% support our candidate. When we know like XYZ and it'll be better going forward, whatever.
Yeah.
They could
I
have
think
done
the-
that. But
think the
realistically, I think the Democratic Party just kind of hates Joe Biden because he's been way more progressive than they wanted him to be.
I think the last thing
But
I'll
then
say
there's a
about
lot
this.
of people who so many people on the left who think he's not progressive enough, who think he's like a Republican.
Who
I
are
don't know if that's
those
true.
people?
I don't know if that's yeah. Who are those people? Because like even like AOC is like a big Biden fan. I think with the exception of the Israel policy, he's
Yeah, that's
pretty.
what I talk people specifically about.
Yeah, I mean,
specifically about Israel.
but again, in my mind, no politician is going to be perfectly aligned with every single thing you want. Otherwise, you should just be the one running. And like that, I don't. I'm not a big fan of Biden's Israel policy, but I'm not going to go. He's been a bad president because of this one thing.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm sure. Maybe I'm sure some people do feel that extremely about it. That's a different thing. But that I don't think that inherently means he hasn't been quite progressive over the course of his presidency.
Yeah, I think that last thing that I was going to say was to your point, John. I think that the Republican Party is oftentimes more how can I word this? Loyal. They're more loyal to their candidate of choice than the Democratic Party is, because they really just kind of like threw Trump at us, and there's like, fuck it. Like if he wins, he wins. If he doesn't, then I guess next 4 years.
Even the people that left Donald Trump, the second he got shot in the ear, they were like, "I'm back."
Yeah. Like, oh, that's my president. All right, fuck it. That's that. I thought that would be a little bit longer.
Can we talk about how fucking crazy it is that an assassination attempt has anything to do with your electability? Like,
It makes sense to me the second I saw that picture.
I saw
the picture
completely
of him with,
same. But the fact that like people try to treat politics like it's such a like rational thing, and like that you're really like weighing the serious important things that this candidate is saying and doing. It's like it's such a good example of like the emotional motivation behind why somebody votes.
You're so right. Votes. I've been hating on Trump since 2016, and I've never once said a good word about that guy. I saw that picture of him with his fists in the air and the blood in his face. I was like, I'm voting. I was like, he got me.
Yeah, well, okay, you're not. Okay, we're gonna take. Okay,
I was like, I was immediately against women's rights. I saw that picture.
Jesus Christ. Yeah, he's like, send him back over the border.
Where it's like he makes some good points about needing to like cleanse the government,
Yeah. I saw that. I instantly wanted to buy a crucifix.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways,
I think he should get 3 terms.
Yeah. I was like, wait,
make it 4.
I was like, hang on a minute. Limits? What are these limits?
And maybe he should just be able to pass it to his kid without like I think at a certain point, like
I don't want to fuck a porn star.
Yeah.
Let's be real. That was Brett's inner monologue well before seeing that picture.
No, I actually don't even remember what we were talking about. I just wanted to say that.
Yeah, there you go.
So, yeah. All right. Well, next topic, I guess. Like that was a little shorter than I thought it would be.
Did you guys bring some hills to die on?
Yeah, I think I got something. um,
Kind of something kind of fucking sad. So Corian's family is here, and it's her mom's birthday and her grandma's birthday. So it's kind of like a big family reunion. Everyone's here doing like a double birthday party. And one of her nephew is here, and her nephew has was born with only half his heart, and he's 12. He was only given like 6 months to live, but
where's
he's
the
12
other
years.
half go, dog?
I don't know what happened. I don't know how that works. It's somewhere in there, I guess.
Somewhere,
s-
yeah.
Uh,
The ether.
but anyway, so now he's 12 years old. He surpassed his life expectations, but it's still a terminal condition, and they don't think he's going to make it more than, a few more months or a year maybe. And he didn't get enough oxygen to his brain when he was born, so he's very mentally slow as well. He's the sweetest kid in the world. And the other day I was heading over there for the reunion, and my dad called me, and my dad is having cardiac problems, and he's in the hospital. And he's going to be in the hospital until Monday at the earliest, and then he might have to get an open heart surgery. He's going to be okay. It's kind of minor. But I was explaining all this to the family, and this little boy with all these surgeries on his heart, who's probably not going to make it, walks. I totally forgot he was there. And he just walks over to me in front of everybody, goes, "Your dad had heart surgery?" And then he started crying.
No.
Oh, oh my God. It's like, and John, if you listened to the podcast last week, it's literally, I just have endless stories of me just like accidentally like hurting disabled children's feelings.
Shit. That's
I have not listened to the pod from last week, but
John doesn't
should
listen
I?
to any of the pods.
No, I do. I do listen to them. I've listened to about.
Just
I think I've listened to 9 of our episodes.
John listens to the podcast just to make sure that I take out the things that I'm supposed to
Yeah,
about him.
that is a big part of it.
Yeah. All right, well, that's fair.
I mean,
That's
listen.
fair.
Occasionally, we make me laugh when I listen to the podcast back.
Yeah. All right. Anyways, before we go into like hot takes, I guess what we got updates. We haven't been here for a while, John. So, fuck is going on with you? So you eating chicken? If people who are listening to the podcast and not watching it, John is usually always eating on the podcast. No one knows why. It's like
I'm eating
10
the
p.m.
It's
It's like 10 p.m.
it's
where he is, but whatever.
nope. It's like 7.
Okay.
I mean, it's 8 p.m. right now. We normally record at my dinner time, so
Oh, fair enough.
I
All right. Well, problem
also
solved.
I kind of like having something to munch on. It makes me feel like a little bit more engaged. Like it gets the juices flowing a little bit, you know.
No, I don't know.
Okay, do you guys know the thing about like Brad Pitt eating in all his movies?
Oh,
Yes.
I have seen that. He's always got something to eat.
Yeah, I'm convinced it's like an acting thing where it like helps him just like feel a little bit more
He's
like
gotten to
floaty.
somebody asked him about it. He said it's gotten to the point where he always asks, like, because he's trying to find like some business, so he's always asking if there's something for him to eat or something for him to do.
Yeah, exactly. And like that can be really freeing when you're acting, like having a little task that you're doing alongside whatever the scene is. And I feel like that frees you up. And low key, like our podcast is so loose and improvisatory that
Not at all close to the real
improvisatory.
word. Hey,
Improvisational.
there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Good job.
That I feel like the eating kind of helps with that. Anyways, I'm good. I've just been working. That's kind of been the main crux of my life is just I've turned into a corporate shill. Yeah, I mean that's just
It's-
kind of been dominating. It was my birthday 2 days ago. That was
Happy
lovely.
birthday, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
I'm sorry I didn't see it. You're not on Facebook, so I don't have your
I
birthday
am
notification.
I am on
That shit is
Facebook.
crazy, dog. Okay.
Yeah, but you
okay.
haven't. I don't think you friended me. I don't think you're on Facebook.
I haven't friended you?
All
I
right,
think I
here.
friended you and you never friended me back.
No,
Hot
that
take.
can't be right.
This is a
Yeah,
hot
go
take.
for
This is a
it.
hot
Go
take.
for it, Cummy.
The fact that people don't know each other's birthdays anymore is kind of fucking wild to me. Now, mind you, I didn't tell John happy birthday, but I knew it was his
Oh,
birthday.
you are my
'cause
friend.
You knew it was my birthday.
I knew it was your birthday. but I didn't wish you happy birthday because you didn't wish me a happy birthday, my guy.
Because I don't know your birthday.
Yeah, so we don't have each other on Facebook. That's the problem. So my thing is like everybody knows each other's birthdays just simply because of Facebook.
Homie, is your birthday
that-
on May 6th?
Now June 15th, but good try.
Okay.
So so
Yeah, I'm
if
friends
we were-
with you on I'm friends with you on Facebook, Brett.
Yeah, I know. I just checked.
my point is the point that I'm trying to make is that like people
I don't
don't
have an
know each other's
excuse.
birthdays anymore, except for the fact that if they have each other on Facebook. I think that's a bit of a problem. I think that you should know your friends' birthdays, at least like close friends' birthdays, because it's not really that difficult to memorize a date. You know, John,
Yeah, I mean,
Brett,
it's-
I'm looking at you.
I actually completely agree with you, and on a like practical level, am I going to put in the work to live up to my moral belief? No, like I'm
Wow.
not going to learn anybody's birthday, but I do agree with you
Know
that it is like
thyself.
it is very sad that it is no longer really a thing to know your friends' birthdays,
Yeah,
except for like
Homie's
maybe
June,
maybe
hang
you're
on
like,
a second. I know your guys' birthdays. July 19th is John's. June 15th is Comey's.
you
I
didn't know it was
literally
mine.
just
Yeah,
you
you
literally just said May 6th for mine, and
Also-
then I corrected.
And I just asked. I know it.
also like your birthday, Comey, is like right next to Juneteenth, so I'm just like I'm a little busy celebrating that to be wishing you a
That's-
happy birthday.
Honestly, I'm not even mad at you. That's very fair. I'd rather you
Tell you-
celebrate Juneteenth than my birthday. So
Can I tell you what the worst thing, Corianne, listeners, that's my fiance, has ever said is she lived. When I say lived, she lived in Jamaica for 2 months
oh god,
on
here
a
we go.
as part of a contract, and
Oh, for like a theater thing.
for a theater thing. She
Oh,
did
that's
it. She
dope.
did a show at a resort
Okay.
in Jamaica, and she lived on the resort in Jamaica. And we went to Jamaica for a trip once, and we got there. She goes, "It's gonna be weird being here as a tourist."
Shut the fuck up. Shut up. It's the worst.
That's crazy.
Being here as a tourist is insane to say out
That is
loud.
crazy, especially for Jamaica.
Also,
Like-
the fact that you stayed in a resort, it wasn't even like you were helping like build shit. Like if you were helping build shit, you'd be like, maybe you'd be like, all right, cool.
Dude,
It's
and
weird to
then,
be here
and
as a
then we
tourist.
ordered room service, and this Jamaican guy comes in with he brought in all the food on his head. So he had like the tray of food balancing on his head as he walked in.
Yeah.
And I went, "Oh, that's so cool. You can do that. Do you walk like that everywhere?" He goes, "Everywhere I go, brother." And then he gives me his he gave me the receipt. I gave him a tip. He walked out, and Corian goes, "You don't have to ask them that. That's everyone carries things in Jamaica."
That's not how. Okay.
It's
All right, we're
not.
I
canceling.
mean, I don't think either you or Corianne comes out looking good in that situation, because you asked this man, "Do you do that everywhere?" Which is
Nah, it
like,
was like a joke though. I don't know if like
No, but I was like, "Oh, you carry everything like that?" It was like just like a silly.
oh yeah, do you carry
Yeah.
everything like that? It's,
Dude,
it's
I
different.
really made a
It's
fucking
different.
I really made a fucking ass out of myself yesterday. We went to Crab Shack. I went with her cousin, and just to pick up some food. And while we were at this Crab Shack, they have these dollar bills taped all throughout the building. And I asked the waitress while they were getting our food, I was like, "Why are there dollar bills everywhere?" And she goes, "Oh, it's just a tradition we have here." And I didn't quite pick up on the fact that she was like hitting on me a little bit. She was like giggly and kind of looking away from me. And she goes, "Oh, it's just kind of like something we do here. You know, people have fun to write their names on dollar bills, or if they're in a relationship and they like to tape them up where there's room." And then she put her hand on my shoulder and she goes, "I swear to God," Corian's cousin was right here. He was freaked out. She put her hand on my shoulder and she goes, people just like to put dollar bills anywhere they can." And I didn't quite put two and two together that she was hitting on me. And so I just went, "Oh, I wish more people would do that to me."
was she or was she asking for a tip?
That is such a good response, to be honest. That's such a.
Wait, I
I
don't
didn't-
understand.
But I just thought I was being silly. I didn't
Brett's
realize.
just like, I wish people would just give me money. Is what Brett said in response.
Because what it sounds like is she's just asking for a tip. That's what that sounds like to me.
Yeah, look, honestly, I don't know. Was this hitting on you?
I don't know. She was like younger than me and she put her hand on my shoulder.
Yeah, that's fair. The hand on the shoulder is.
If she was older than me and she put her hand on my shoulder, it'd be one thing. But she was like
It'd
much
feel a
younger.
little-
She
yeah,
was like
that's fair.
19, 20.
Oh, that's weird.
All right.
Interesting.
I have a hot take.
Do it.
Yep.
Actually, no.
Wait,
sorry.
actually, just
Not a
very
hot take.
quickly, do you
Tell me
guys
about it.
remember something about Brett going to the crab shack reminded me of this? Do you guys remember when we just like totally on a whim woke up one morning and then
Went
went on
fishing.
a boat fishing trip in San Diego?
Hell yeah, that was
And
me.
then
You're
and
welcome.
then every single one of us got horribly seasick.
I did not throw. Why you guys?
Yes, you did. I
disrespect-
know for a fact
We
that you
know that
did.
you did, Comey. We
I
know
did
that
not
you
throw
did.
up, bro.
You
Why were you in
disappeared
the
to the bathroom for
40
so
minutes?
long. We
I
just
went to
we,
the bathroom. What is
for
wrong with you
40
people?
You was in
minutes.
there. You were in there for 40 minutes, and you come out of the bathroom. You're like, "Oh, that's a nice bathroom." I'm like, "What the fuck were you doing?" I was like, "What were you doing in there?" You were just like, "Oh, not throwing up." I swear.
Not throwing up.
Bro, this is such weird. I can't believe you guys are still staying. Also, I thought this was a Nathan thing. I thought Nathan was the one who was kind of like,
Oh, I mean,
uh,
Nathan definitely threw up, but that like
Nathan and
threw up
Jackie.
Nathan was determined, like doomed to throw up the moment he stepped foot on that boat.
yeah. No, I mean, like,
I
I meant
feel
like
like
the fact.
no, go ahead.
Nah, go. I meant the fact that he kept saying that I threw up, and when I obviously didn't. I don't understand why you guys keep. Anyways, I don't know. You guys are silly.
Do you remember? Do you remember when they brought Jackie a bucket because she couldn't get over the railing for the boat? So they brought her a bucket so she could throw up in the bucket. They brought her a bucket so she could stand on the bucket to get over the railing, but she didn't want to be like that short girl, so she just threw up in the bucket.
I don't remember that. Remember
It-
when? Remember when Nathan put in
In the
like
bucket they gave her to stand on. They were not intending that to get throw up in it.
Remember when Nathan put in like $20 to be like part of the pile of to
Yeah,
see who like got
the
the
pool.
biggest fish? Yeah,
Yeah.
to see who got the biggest fish, and we nobody caught anything.
and nobody got shit.
Wait, hang on. I think did Savannah, did she go? One person caught something.
No, I think like a few of us like got like tiny little guys, but
Yeah.
like
I didn't
I
catch anything.
No, it was a horrible excursion. I remember it fondly because it was a
It
bonding
ended up
experience.
being a fun memory, but it was not a fun. It was
Not a
actually,
fun experience. Bad experience. I was the first person to throw up on the whole boat that day. Like I was
I'm
chatting
sure
with you
you
guys by the
were.
front. We were talking about stand-up comedy, and then I was like, I'm not feeling good. And then I went and threw up over the side. And then I thought like I heard a few people being like, "Oh, gross," like weak stomach or what. Like I heard like the crew kind of saying that. And the next thing I knew, like every single person on the boat was dropping like flies. Like every group was.
Yeah, there was a
throwing up.
storm. There was a storm the day before, so the waves were crazy that day.
It was basically Triangle of Sadness, but in real life.
I've still yet to see that.
Good movie. I
All
liked it actually.
Yeah, a surprisingly good movie.
Uh,
We just watched X. Have you seen X?
No.
It's like an A24 horror movie about these people in like the 60s trying to shoot a porno at this old couple's ranch, and then it
Oh,
basically
yeah, I've heard
becomes
about
Friday.
it.
It's like Friday the 13th, but with an old couple instead of Jason. So it's these old people killing these young kids
who stars in it
in a
again?
bunch of different gory ways. What was that?
Who stars in it? There's like is
It's
it,
Sadie Sink, I think.
Mia Goth.
Or Mia Goth.
okay.
Yeah, Mia Goth plays the lead victim and the lead killer. She plays both. And then they made two more sequels, and she's in both of those as well. But I didn't like the sequels. They were kind of pretentious.
Speaking of what we recently watched, I watched Seneca on the creation of earthquakes with John Malkovich playing Seneca. And it was pretty interesting, like very theatrical. It was weird. It was weird theatrical.
John Malkovich playing who?
Seneca,
What's that?
the Roman politician or Grecian politician, I can't remember. Or philosopher. I don't know. Whatever.
He's a philosopher. He's
I
a
never heard.
stoic philosopher, I believe.
Was it a good movie?
3 out of 10, 3 out of 5. I was like 3 out of 10. Goddamn. 3 out of 5.
I feel like that, like, I haven't seen it, but that just strikes me as such an old man movie in a way. Like that's a dad movie. You know what I mean?
Because of what? Because it's stoicism.
I don't know. It's about this. Yeah, stoicism. It's about the Roman Empire. It's John Malkovich. Like it just kind of checks a lot of boxes.
John Malkovich,
John
dude.
Malkovich
When you look at that guy's career, that guy has been in movies basically since the 40s.
Yeah,
has
he
been around
rocks.
forever.
I like John Malkovich a lot. I'm just saying, I feel like he's a bit of a dad actor. You know, like all of our dads like John Malkovich.
You know what's weird about that is about John Malkovich is when you watch when people talk about of Mice and Men, the movie he did from like 1991 or 1989, something like that, and they
That's
call it
92.
that old Of Mice and Men TV movie. I'm like, it's weird that they're saying that's the old one because John Malkovich is middle aged in that one.
Yeah, dude's 70. Crazy.
He's 70 years old. He's been making
Being
movies
John
forever.
Malkovich.
I have a
That's a
slightly
great movie.
hot take.
Uh,
That I'm curious if I've mentioned to you guys before. Because so it has to do with A24 as a
production company.
production company.
Yeah, I got a take on them too, but go on.
So my take with A24 is that they are very good. Like I don't want to be too critical of they take like really big swings, they have like great craftsmanship, they finance cool projects, etc. My issue with A24, and it might not be unique, but I feel like so often with A24 movies, they're good, but they're not great, and they'll never be great because they're constantly telling you how good they are.
I agree.
Like the entire construction of the movie, like the way they do the cinematography, the way it's written. And this might not be the case with like some of their first things they did where they were kind of like first blowing up. But I think especially now, it feels like they're constantly telling you like, look, we are cinema. We are like good filmmaking. As opposed to just being good filmmaking, as opposed to just just like making a great movie. That makes sense. And it's a distinction that is hard to point to any one thing in a movie and go, that's that thing that I'm complaining about. But it is something that I think you can kind of intuitively feel when you watch it.
That's a very fair. I don't think that's even a hot take. I think
No, that's I agree with that take
Yeah.
100%.
Okay, maybe it's not a hot take. I've expressed that to people before, and they'll like, you're just being contrarian. A24 is amazing.
think
All right, I have
okay
the list
stuff.
here of the top 10. I have a list here of the top 10 A24 movies by gross. I was wondering if we wanted to go through them and see if we like them. I've seen all these movies except for one.
I probably haven't seen all of them, but
Let's get it. I love
All
when
right.
we talk about film because it makes Comey mad.
not at
Yeah.
all.
Number one is Everything Everywhere All at Once. I thought that was good, but not
Pretty solid.
terrific.
Out of
Yeah,
five,
I thought it
I'd
was.
say-
Out of five. Let's do these out of five.
Out of
I'd say
5, I
four.
give it a 3.
I give it a
3 and a
4.
half.
I'm with
Four.
Comey. I give that a solid 4.
4.
I thought
like
I
like
thought that
4
the
bordering on 4.5.
Really? I thought that the performances were great. I loved oh my god, Yao, what's her first name?
Michelle
Michelle
Yeoh?
Yeoh. Michelle Yeoh, and I loved
Ki-ho Kwan?
yeah, Ki Kwan.
Nope.
I loved
Nope.
the acting. I loved all that. My issue with it was I knew exactly
Like
what it was
Teehee.
trying. Huh?
Teehee like Teehee.
Yeah, like Ki Hui Kwan. But like I knew exactly what it was trying to be, what it was trying to do halfway through the movie, and then there was another hour and a half left. So
And then there was another hour and a half left.
yeah, that was my issue. But anyway, then Civil War. I have not seen Civil War. That
Not
one just
seen.
came out.
I'm thinking about everything all at once, everything everywhere all
Yeah.
at once. And I think what you just described, Brett, is what carried it for me. Like that's why I do bump it up a little higher than most A24 movies. Is the acting was fantastic. Some of the writing was incredible. Like it has a lot of great elements. It still, in my mind, still suffers from the A24 syndrome of like it's telling you it's a really good movie.
But that's my point. That's what my problem with the second half of the movie was.
Yeah.
Was the first about halfway through the movie, I was like, okay, well, spoiler alert. But I was like halfway through the movie, I was like, all right, I know what's going on here. Everything happening right now is it's saying that the mom's having a bit of a mental breakdown. It's all a metaphor for the girl growing up and the mom having to let her go. It's all I understood exactly what it was doing. And then the second half of the movie was just the metaphor getting more metaphor-y but still being the same metaphor.
Whoa. Hey, you metaphor out, my G.
Hey, anyway, so Civil War. John, did you see Civil War?
No.
Maybe we could skip that one. Uncut Gems, I thought was really good. I thought it was just kind of like really intense, and it never let go of that. There was never a moment for me to breathe.
Yeah, that's earlier A24. I feel like that's like a 3.5 to me, 3.5 leaning 4.
Yeah, I'd put it there
Are
too.
we allowed to do 0.5s?
Yeah,
Yeah, I think 0.5s are fine. Although to be fair, at that point, like you might as well just do out of 10, right?
Yeah, well, let's just do solid. Let's just do solid. I say 3. I'll say 3 out of 5 for us. Uncut Gems.
I'd say 3. I'm with John. 3.5 out of 5.
No,
If we're not doing
half points.
halves, if we're not doing half points, I'll say 3.
I would go 4 for not doing halves.
God damn. Okay. All right.
Also specifically because of the end. I mean,
The end is fantastic. Also, Kevin Garnett's performance is all time great.
Oh my god, yeah. I was like, I guess I saw the movie and I was like, who's that basketball player who's a really good actor? I didn't even know he was playing himself. That's how little I know about basketball.
All right, let's hurry this up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Get through these quick. Just bang them out.
Lady Bird.
Oh man, damn, that was a while ago. That was early.
Lady Bird, I'd give that one like a 5 out of 5.
Really?
4.
4.5
You're
or
big,
5.
big Lady Bird fans. I would say 3.
I give it a 4.
Talk to Me, I do 4. I thought Talk to Me was really good.
I never watched it.
I don't know. Talk to me.
Scary movie. Anyway, Hereditary, I would do 3 out of 5.
2.
I actually never watched it, so I'm not gonna say.
Solid 2 for me.
Iron Claw, I would do 3 out of 5.
5 out of 5 Iron Claw, bro.
2.
5 out of 5 Iron Claw.
Okay, well, we haven't talked about Iron Claw.
Interesting.
Dude,
You
Iron
guys have
Claw,
seen it,
I was like, dude, sometime, and I love pro wrestling and I love the Von Erichs, but sometimes I gotta say, sometimes a true story does not make for an interesting Hollywood story.
Dude, that for me, it was beautiful. The ending was beautiful.
Oh, I thought the ending was, I thought the acting was great. I thought Zac Efron deserved an Oscar nomination. Like I thought that there was a lot of great stuff in it, but I'm just watching that movie going, okay, then that's sad. Then this sad thing happened. Then this sad thing happened. Then this sad thing happened.
It's life,
like,
bro. Sometimes
I get
everything
that's
falls at
life, but
once.
it's not an interesting one. All right.
That's fair. That's fair.
My issue was like, so I'm gonna bump my score up to 3 because I like now that the more I'm thinking about it, the more kind of great stuff there was in there, especially the acting. I just found it. It's not even that it was too sad. I thought it was too straightforward. Like I didn't feel like it had. I feel like to hit you with that much sadness, that much like tragedy, it needs to have something like powerful to say along with that. And I don't mean politically. I mean like it needs to like move you on some level that like makes you connect with the tragedy
Rather than just being like family's important.
rather than just yeah, exactly. And so thematically, I think I found it too simple for how great kind of the rest of it was and for how sad it was. And to counterpose it, so like I think the saddest movie I've ever seen and the best like examination of grief I've ever seen is Manchester by the Sea. And
oh yeah.
And I would say like that movie is so fucking dark and sad, but it like really does something where it's able to have you go through that and kind of like laugh along with it a little bit, like feel complicated about the sadness you're feeling as you're watching. I sound so fucking wanky right now, but I'll stick with that.
Both times when I was working at the movie theater in Saratoga Springs, New York, both times I had a celebrity encounter. They were going to see Manchester by the Sea.
Interesting.
It was Steven and Liv Tyler. Both of them went to go see Manchester by the Sea, and Pele, the soccer player, went to go see Manchester by the Sea.
You met Pele?
Yeah, and I didn't know who it was. He and his brother came to go see it, and
that's
I asked
such a cool pull.
Yeah, and I asked for his autograph on the receipt when he bought popcorn, and he kind of like rolled his eyes and signed it. And then I was like, "Oh no!" He walked away, and then I was like, "Oh, did I say something that offended him?" He goes, "Do you know who that is?" I was like, "No." He goes, "That's Pele." He had to explain it to me, and then I was like, "Oh, when I asked for his autograph, I just meant like, can he sign the receipt? I wasn't trying to like
keep the receipt."
Yeah, and then I told everyone in the movie theater that when the movie ended, he came out. There was a swarm of people trying to take a picture with him.
Did you keep the receipt?
No, it was
all I'm getting
illegal.
from this, Brett, is that you really kind of harassed Pele. Like,
yeah,
like you started with the autograph thing as a mistake, and then you told everyone he was there, so they swarmed him.
I told everybody about it.
Like you actively made.
I did
Pele's
exactly
life
what they
not
asked me not. I did exactly what he was pissed off at me for not doing.
Yeah. Isn't he dead? He's dead, right?
He died.
I think he passed away a couple years ago.
Yeah, Brett literally harassed Pele a few years before he died. That's crazy. You're probably the one who put an end to his life.
Old man.
All right.
I'm pretty sure some people believe Pele was like an incarnation of God. Like in South America, some of those soccer players like really ascend to a level that is
like a sainthood.
Yeah, sainthood. Maybe that's a better way to put it.
Yeah. All right, are we done with this movie stuff, or are we gonna keep going? We can keep
I
going.
mean, the only ones that are left are like Moonlight, Midsummer, and Ex Machina. I didn't like any of these movies except
Oh,
Ex
I
Machina.
mean, you didn't like Moonlight?
I never
I
watched
loved the
Moonlight.
first part of Moonlight. I didn't like the second and third. I love the first act.
Yeah, yeah. Brent
I
I
Spiner
loved
was
mean,
Moonlight.
I loved Mahershala Ali. I loved it, all that stuff. The second and third act, it wasn't
oh,
as
the
good.
main, the adult actor too, I think is fucking phenomenal.
Oh, that big buff dude
Yeah,
looks
that's Brent's
absolutely
problem.
nothing. It looks
That was Brent's
absolutely nothing
problem
to
with
like
it.
that skinny tall kid.
Yeah, but still, he's so good. I don't know. I loved Moonlight. Like, and
I
this
have
is what I'm
nothing
talking
against.
about.
Let me say, I've got nothing against the movie. I just didn't find the second or the third part as interesting as the first.
That's fair. Yeah, I mean, I think like it doesn't, its individual parts are maybe not all equal, but I don't know. That was when my A24 stock, my personal A24 stock was at its highest. It was
Hmm.
basically Manchester by the Sea and Moonlight.
Did they do
Uh,
Manchester by the Sea? Because I love that movie.
were they? In my head, they did, but actually, no, they didn't. It was Manchester by the Sea was Amazon's first major
Yeah, that sounds
blockbuster.
right. That sounds right.
Yeah.
Wait,
And I
Brent,
got
you're
my hot
forgetting.
take is I think
I think you're forgetting the best movie that A24 has ever brought out, which is
what?
Marco, the shell with shoes on.
Marcel
Yeah,
the
that
Shell with
movie
shoes
actually
on,
that
baby.
Oh, wait,
Marcel, that
Marcel.
actually looks really cute. That was
It's
good.
supposed to be really good.
Do you know? I
I
actually
said
do have a little
Marco.
bit of a hot take. I actually do have a hot take on this list. The worst movie I've ever seen in theaters was Midsummer.
Never saw it.
Yeah, no, haven't seen it.
All right, well then I don't have much to say. I
It-
feel like you guys are going to
my
disagree with me, but
No, I don't like the director, so I fully like would agree with you. I'm guessing if I saw it, but the one thing that holds it back is like I do think Florence Pugh is a phenomenal actress.
so what I do have
It's
to say about the movie is all of the acting is great.
yeah.
So I love at first I was so into it. I went to go see the movie. I was really excited about A24. And I was super excited to see it. I went to see it with my friends and I'm really into horror movies and it looked like a really creepy lingering horror movie. And the first half of it is great because it just lingers and lingers and lingers and it kind of brings you back to like the 70s, like Jaws and how they lingered. You don't quite see the monster or see the horror till the end, but then it just continues to linger and then it just continues to be creepy and just gory and gross for the sake of being gory and gross without actually affecting the story at all. It's just like, well, look what we did on camera to show you that we did it. And it just becomes scary because they're telling you it's scary instead of scary because you care about the characters or you care about the story. It's just like, oh, there's scary visuals, therefore it is a scary movie.
Well, that's like a micro version of what I'm talking about, right? Where it's like we're showing you this is a good movie. We're not just being a good movie.
Yeah.
Um,
And
yeah,
then they're
I don't
like,
know.
and then at the end, and then people who love it, they're like, no, you don't understand it, Brett. It's a metaphor for a breakup. I'm like, who cares what it's a metaphor for? It was stupid.
I think one of my favorite things, or well, it's not my favorite, but the reaction of when you don't like something that somebody else doesn't like, and them saying that you don't understand it, I find fascinating. It's like if you understood it, you would like it. It's like, well, yeah, maybe if
Yeah.
I understood it on like an emotional level, or like understood it, if I had your life experience, yeah, I would like it because that you like it. So it's
John,
such a
you
nothing
wouldn't
statement.
believe it. You wouldn't believe it, but I've been in that situation before.
No.
Just don't
I
get it.
don't believe that for a second. You're so not opinionated or stubborn.
Yeah, it is crazy. Okay. For number one, since let's finish up. What's your favorite A24 film?
Wait,
Tenet.
I have to look at a list of the A24 films.
I'll say mine. You guys are gonna hate it, but honestly, so far, I haven't watched too many. But The Iron Claw has to be my favorite A24 film so
I
far.
thought it was really good. It's not my favorite.
John's not gonna like the answer. Mid
There's
'90s
a
was pretty
lot
cool
of them.
too. I like mid '90s.
I'm just gonna do what's on that list, man, because there's a lot of them.
Yeah, there's a lot.
The thing is, that's not the best list. If that were the list, I'd say, if that were like top 10 best, not top 10 grossing, I'd say Lady Bird.
Okay.
Oh, they did Lock. I didn't realize they did Lock.
Oh, with Tom Hardy, that's really good.
Yeah, cool movie. They
Okay.
also did Spring Breakers. You guys remember when that came out?
I hated that.
Yeah, Spring Breakers was rough. Yeah, tell me, Comey, what's your
Oh yeah, dude.
Already
This is
said.
the yeah.
Oh, you
You're
did
right.
the
You're
on
right.
clock. What? I don't hate that. I think that's a good choice.
You're right, John. That's the best era of A24. That 2017 when you were talking.
2017 is when they like ascended.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude. Florida Project, Lady Bird, Disaster Artist, Lefty Brown.
I think Florida Project might be my choice.
Yeah, Florida
Florida
Project's
Project
really
is
good.
is fucking incredible.
Yeah, that's a good movie.
Nice. All right, cool,
Yeah.
man.
All right,
All
let's move on. Comey looks so bored.
No. I'm just laying down. Here's my hill to die, and we can probably end on this. I don't think that people. This is stuff. This is stuff. I should have did this in the beginning. I don't think that people should tell other people who they should vote for. That's my hill to die on. I don't think that you should.
Okay.
I don't think that you as an individual should tell other people.
I
who they
think
should vote
everyone
for.
would agree with you.
I don't think that.
But even what
I
about the
don't know.
politician who is running?
Politician who is running is allowed to tell you who you should vote for. They're trying to get your vote, obviously. But apart from that, peers, individuals who are not part of the political system, who are not like part of the political machine, shut the fuck up forever.
What about
Let-
okay, wait. What about somebody who's like just like way more informed than you and like maybe like works a little bit in that sphere?
Sure, if you are look,
Okay. I
How
see
about
what you're
this?
going for.
My favorite
I see what you're going
A24
for.
movie would have to be would have to be The Lobster or The Witch, one of the
The
two.
Lobster is a great choice, as is The Witch.
I hate this guy. I hate this guy.
Wait, what were
All
we
right,
talking about?
Brett, did you call me? Go back to what you were
Our-
saying.
Our favorite political A24 movie.
No,
Yeah, so that's my hot take. I already said it though. But
I have some thoughts on that. I feel like I kind of get what you're saying, but at first, Brett, what is your favorite Yorgos Lanthimos movie?
The Lobster, by far. It's the only one that I
Yeah.
like. I didn't like the favorite at all.
I guess if your favorite A24 is The Lobster, then
Yeah.
it would probably that would make sense that your favorite Yorgos would be as well.
Yeah.
But no, I agree with you, Comey. I don't think that's that hot of a take. Like I don't I really actually I hate talking about politics with just about anyone who doesn't like have some degree of working in it. You know what I mean?
Sure. I mean, we talk politics all the time on this show, though.
Yeah, and I kind of hate it.
That's fair enough. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
I don't hate it. I don't hate it
That's
that
why
much
he's
when we
not
talk about
here
it.
every other week.
No, to be
Yeah,
honest,
he
like
knows.
I don't hate it when we talk about it. What I don't like, or it's not even that I don't like. I do feel like we're fucking idiots when we talk about it. Like we
Oh,
say
absolutely.
nothing
Oh,
of substance, or
absolutely.
yeah.
That's the point of the podcast, though. Look,
Yeah.
Can I just say something? Interjection. When like 10 minutes before the podcast started, or like 30 minutes before the podcast started, when there's news about Joe Biden dropping out, I was like, thank God that we have this podcast to talk about, because I feel like people who don't have peers to talk about outside of like social media go to social media in order to like get that fulfillment somehow of like being able to talk to someone or argue with someone about politics. So like people who are on Facebook and like comment sections arguing with random people online, I feel like genuinely just need to start a podcast that they don't even put out. They can just record it and just delete it after. But like I feel like that's some type of want for a lot of people is to be able to discuss politics with their peers.
What I'm hearing is you want the return of the Renaissance age coffee shop, where people would go and just like drink coffee and debate all day.
That sounds fucking fun, man. Honestly.
Yeah,
John,
you need to be in 1700s France. If they weren't racist, then you would be perfect for it.
I think I'm good.
John, speaking of talking politics with your friends and you not wanting to do that, do you think Project 2025 is actually going to happen under Trump, or do you think he actually wants to distance himself?
Okay, check this out. Check out how uninformed your boy is. What the fuck is Project 25?
Hell yeah!
So-
my god, I know more than you about that. Hell,
So Trump is thinking about getting free passes.
it's the
for
most
everyone to Six
Christian
Flags.
right. It's the most Christian right. Hang on, let me read you some of. So basically, Project
Man, that
2025.
man don't even know what Project 2025 is, man. He's about to read that shit, man. He a liar. He's a liar. He don't know what it is.
Wait, you're saying Brett doesn't know what it is?
Yeah, he's Googling
Yeah,
that
I
shit.
thought you meant me. I was
see
like,
him.
yeah, no, I don't know what it is.
No,
I'm
I'm
not
reading
lying.
it to John.
No, he's googling that shit. I see it. Look at him looking away from the screen. Look at him.
Hang on a minute. Hang on. I'm not making any. I'm not
I
making.
don't think
any,
he's not hiding that he's Googling it.
I literally am googling it so I can read him the bullet points so he can hear this and how Christian right it is.
Yeah, but you also said I know more about John than this thing, and it's not true.
I do, but even though I can't freaking list every bullet in it,
give me one
off the
thing
top of my head.
Close your eyes, and give me one thing off the cuff that you haven't already read. Close your eyes.
All right,
Look,
all right. One thing off the cuff that he wants. All right, he wants to ban abortion all the way through to end of term.
Okay, is that new?
Huh?
Is that new?
I don't know. All right, you know what? Fuck both of you guys.
I mean, like him codifying it and putting it out there is actually, I feel like, a good thing because everybody can just see how fucking insane his shit is. But I don't like if that's
That
the
is
first bullet point. I'm like,
hilarious.
wow, surprise, surprise! Trump wants to
Hang
ban
on.
abortion.
All right, here we go. Hang on, never mind.
What is happening, Brett? Do you know what this thing is?
I'm trying to find.
nuts.
There's a picture on here that has the bullet points that I want to see.
Why don't
So
you
it's-
give me? Why don't you give me? Like Comey's saying, why don't you give me your bullet points? The Brett Cassidy bullet points.
That'd
No.
be like me being like, be like, hey John, do you know about the Articles of Confederation? And you're like, no. And I'm like, wow, I know more about this than you do. And then I go to Google. I go to Google and open up a book and start listing
all right,
them
all right,
off.
all right. Here we go. All right,
Like an asshole.
and no fault divorce, complete ban on abortions. This is actually from Project 2025's their own Twitter page.
Website?
X page.
Okay.
Ban contraceptives, additional tax breaks for corporations and 1%, higher taxes for the working class, eliminations of unions and worker protections, raise the retirement age, cut Social Security, cut Medicare, end the Affordable Care Act, raise prescription drug prices, eliminate the Department of Education, use public taxpayer money for private religious schools, teach Christian religious beliefs in public schools, and free and discounted school lunch programs, end civil rights and DEI protections in government, ban African.
Whoa. Did you say
What?
end free lunch?
And
Yeah, and
free
free
and
lunch.
discounted. Yep.
I'm
Ban-
against Project 2025. That's all you need to say.
That's the one that got you.
That's the one.
The closing down of the Department of Education didn't get Comey. And free lunch? No.
Ban African American studies in all levels of education. Ban gender studies in all levels of education.
Okay, for those listening, Comey just did like the I don't know face emoji in reaction to ban African American studies. He's like, but free lunch?
Free
No.
lunch? Yeah, I'm
Ban
about
books
that.
and curriculum about slavery. End climate protection. Ending climate protections. Increase Arctic drilling. Deregulate big business and the oil industry. Promote and expedite capital punishment. I kind of agree with that. End marriage equality. Condemn single mothers while promoting only traditional families.
How do you condemn them? How do
Yeah,
you condemn them?
Defund the FBI and Homeland Security. Use the military.
Oh,
yeah,
that's interesting. That's like slightly progressive almost.
Yeah. Use the military to break up domestic protests. Mass
That's less
deportation.
progressive.
Mass deportation and deportation of immigrants. End birthright citizenship. Ban Muslims from entering the country.
Yo, that's fucking insane. Do you guys remember learning about the Chinese Exclusion Act that like went into effect in like the
1911? Yeah.
No, even earlier. I think it came into effect in like the 1830s or something.
Yeah.
I don't know the exact date, but it went through until like 1960. It was so late that it was withdrawn.
Yeah,
And
it's
everyone
fucked.
learns it in school as like, this is a horrible thing we did. And now we're trying to go, well, ban Muslims from coming.
Absolutely not. How do you say God? Allah, get out of here. Good try.
Yeah,
Good Lord, that's fucked.
the little
Eliminate
color
federal
card.
agencies like the FDA, EPA, NOAA, and more.
Eliminate the
eliminate the
FDA
FDA
is
is
the hottest
insane,
fucking
dog.
take I've ever heard.
And
You don't
the
want-
last
you don't
thing is
want your-
continue and they use the word pack.
You might as
Continue-
well just be like, we want heavy lead in our foods. Like
They use the word pack here, by the way. This is the last bullet. Continue to pack the Supreme Court with right-wing judges.
I mean,
Wow.
the thing is, it's like if Trump gets elected, like
Well, Trump said
is any of
Trump's,
that not going to happen? Like,
well, here's the thing. Trump said that so the Project 2025 people have been working with Trump's campaign. They've been trying to align a lot with each other. Trump has actually distanced himself from the far right, the far Christian right thing. But my thing is, how much of that is him trying to distance himself to get more of the left wing Republicans? And how much of that is him actually saying, no, that's a little too far?
I don't think the man has it too far. So
I
You
mean,
think he's just trying
okay.
to get the vote from more left wing Republicans?
probably. I mean, I don't know. The thing is,
Okay.
I don't think he actually cares that much. Like,
It's just
my
campaign wants
impression
to
is
do
like
that.
he just wants to win. He just wants to be the president. Like, it's an ego thing.
So maybe his
Trump do that.
campaign, so his campaign just told him,
Yeah.
distance yourself.
Yeah. And I don't know. But what I mean is, like, he probably doesn't care. I mean, I'm out here psychoanalyzing Trump. But what I mean is, like, I feel like he doesn't care about Project 25. He doesn't care about the Christian right. He doesn't care about the left Republicans. He just cares about being in power and being the president. And so that's a great route for him to go do it, you know? But ultimately, like, does he care that much about those policies? Like, no.
Right.
I think that's what
Yeah.
makes him, in a way, so dangerous. Is like he truly just doesn't give a shit about policy. Like, so something like getting rid of the FDA is like, yeah, why not? Because who cares?
Doesn't really understand what they do. Let me ask you guys a question, since we're just closing up here. If for some strange reason, right, and we live in a simulation, so it doesn't really matter. If for some reason, let's say that Kanye West becomes the Democratic nominee, do you think that people would still be saying, vote blue no matter who, or do you think people would change their minds about voting Trump or voting Kanye West? Do you think that people on the left would still vote blue?
I think that they would vote. I don't. They would vote for somebody other than Kanye.
That's
No, you
tough,
know what's
isn't it? No, but
genuinely
think about
crazy?
it.
In this ridiculous hypothetical, I would vote for Kanye over Trump
Well, me
Damn,
too, yeah.
son.
because
Yeah, you have two choices, Kanye or Trump.
you
And
have
we're
two
both
choices.
Jews,
I'm voting.
so
I'm
we
voting
win.
for Kanye. Like, and don't get me wrong, I don't support Kanye, but like, if that's the choice,
Sounds
I
like
feel
you
like
do.
there is more chance of Kanye doing a few things good than there is of Trump.
I mean, one person's had 4 years as president, the other person has not.
Yeah, and they were arguably the worst 4 years of a presidency in American history.
Is that like factually true?
Yeah, the man is like
there's been like
arguably the most responsible individual for the number of people that died in the States from COVID. He like
Sure.
dismantled multiple like years worth of legislation and policy that was protecting all kinds of things from the environment within the states to individual protections. He bolstered corporate power to a degree that is pretty much unprecedented. I mean, like,
Right.
I think the list kind of goes on and on. He like sided with autocrats in other countries and like had some of the most hawkish foreign policy in United States history, although we tend to be pretty hawkish to begin with.
Right. Give me a
like-
memory bank here, since you're a history major. Tell me, there's been some pretty shitty presidents, right? I'm not doubting that he was a bad president, but I'm wondering if he's been the worst president.
Well, okay.
in the
Well,
history of the
define.
United
Well, you have
States.
to define worst. Was he? He was incredibly effective, but how do you define
Maybe like
worst?
incompetence, maybe.
Incompetent. He wasn't. He got a lot of what his people wanted him to get done. He got it done.
Okay, that's not. Yeah, for me, that's not the right word to use.
I mean, do you could morally evil? He'd be down there with like Jackson.
Yeah, that sounds about right to me.
Okay.
But if you're talking about competency, he did pretty good.
For his,
When you say
party.
competency, you mean like for his party?
We have
and like
yeah,
for,
for
yeah,
his
yeah.
party,
That's what he
for
means,
for
that's
his
what he means.
constituents.
Yeah. All right.
Well, no.
maybe-
Okay, wait. No, I would argue like yes for his party, not for his constituents.
Mm.
One,
Because constituents are the voters. Constituents is population, and I don't think Trump helped the people who are voting for him.
Well, I think he did what
probably,
they wanted him to do, though.
yeah,
And they don't
yeah.
want him to help them. They wanted to get the freaking brown people out.
Yeah, absolutely. But there is a big difference between like what you say you want and what is actually good for your life, and like
Hey,
that's like
stop dropping knowledge like that and keep moving on, bro. Let's simmer on that bitch for a second. Hold on. Hold on, dog. This man said, "What?" You say, hold on. Say that one more time, dog.
I said there's a big difference between what you want and what is actually good for your life.
Shit.
Somebody send this to Oklahoma.
Hey man, that's a hard ass bar. Hey,
somebody said somebody take a video of John and send that to me next time I want to streak in public.
Yeah. Yeah, that was hard. All right, that's cool. That's cool. I mean, we should have just ended the podcast the second time that you said it, because that shit's hard as fuck, man. Stop it, dog. Hey man, fuck that. Say it one more time. 3 times the charm, dog.
Hey man, sometimes what you want isn't what's best for your life.
Yeah, what's
What you
best
think
for
you
it?
want. Yeah,
Yeah. All right, we can end the pod there.
that's
Fuck
crazy.
it. No, that shit's hard though. The first time that shit was hard as fuck, because he just kept moving. Same thing when he like uses big words, he just keeps moving on like it's nothing. Because you know he has a formal education and shit, yo.
Yeah, I do have a formal education.
Hey, he's got 3 degrees.
3 degrees,
Does.
3 degrees, two higher education degrees, one
Yeah.
undergraduate degree.
Hey, one of them's from a British school. A British school.
British. Hey, I'm fucking British. What's good, my G? All right. Anyways,
Hey, Cody's British accent's improved.
I'm from the UK. I'm from the UK. Yeah.
Wait, this is wild. Because when I first moved here, I'd like have British people come up to me at parties and stuff sometimes, and
Yeah.
they'd hear that me speaking with an American accent, and they would start putting on their terrible American accent. They'd be like, "Oh, you from America?" That kind of shit. And
you slap them. You just slap
no,
'em?
I honestly, my reaction was usually like, "Ha, yeah, no, I am American." Like, how would you like it if I walked up to you and was like, "Oh, you from London? You from London? Do you like being from London?" Like, you hate it.
That's what we do.
And this is the thing. I'm like, in my mind, when I'm saying that, I'm like, surely Americans don't do that. We're better than that. And then I get to this podcast a couple years later, and here you guys are.
I got something terrible for you, John. One of my best friends, Spencer, his girlfriend Roxy, they went to London a couple of months ago, and when they landed, Roxy woke Spencer up and just went as loud as she goes, "We're here."
I don't think that's that bad. I don't know.
God.
At this point, I've kind of stopped caring about it. Like, yeah, it can be annoying or whatever, I'm sure, but everybody does it is the thing. It's like when I go to Italy and I get to the airport and I see all the signs in Italian, I'm standing there going like, "Controllo passaporti." Like
Controllo passaporti. Yeah, bro. All right, good pod. I don't know if anything else you guys want to touch on. If not, call it a day.
I'm good.
All right, that's been the pod. I'm gonna honestly, I'll see if I can put this out on Monday. This is breaking news. We can't let this go by. You know.
Yeah, I don't think there's really anything that needs to be edited.
Yeah, we'll see about that. All right, cool. That's been the pod episode 17. Yeah, 17. You can find us on Spotify, on Apple Music. Make sure to rate. I've never say this. Rate us on Apple Music. It means more than anything in the world. All 2 people who are listening to this podcast. We're on YouTube. You can find us on YouTube. I don't know why Brett's laughing. Just doing it.
You make that joke every time, every podcast.
No, it wasn't a joke.
I know. It's like,
do we have listener metrics at all?
Yeah, I can find them. It's actually there. I'll just have them over.
Because like, what if we've blown up and we don't even know it?
Yeah, that's definitely happening. Yeah.
People start wearing T-shirts that says "one of the only 2 listeners."
No, I feel like the T-shirt for us is gonna be "Stay cool." Like that's still the funniest moment that's happened on this whole podcast. I fucking kill. I think about that all the time. I think about Brett walking around hot ass New York, seeing homeless people and going, "Stay cool."
Do you know how many times I've done that in DC or New York?
So many, I bet.
And I don't say it like that. I always go, all right, my friend, stay cool. I
Yeah,
always
no, I'm guessing
because-
the way you say it is, I'm guessing not that bad, but I just like picture it as like you have sunglasses on, you're like, stay cool.
no,
All right,
it's
that's been the pod. Bye.
just,